Today I'll be reviewing and range testing a pair of nice CB radio walkie-talkies from Midland International Corporation. But before we get started, let's have an appropriate CB radio introduction. This will be a short-range receive test transmitting from the President Randy II FCC.
First up, we have the 5-watt, 3-channel Midland 13763. Second up, we have the Midland 13763, radio number 2.
Now we're going to take a look at a couple of the features of the Midland 13763. This is the box it came in. Now it came with this nice carrying case. We'll go ahead and take it off. Now looking at the front of the radio, here you have your microphone, internal, and your speaker. Here's your on-off and volume control, squelch control, frequency selector. It holds 3 channels, and your high and low output. On high, it'll transmit at 4 watts and receive at 5 watts. On low, it'll transmit and receive at 2 watts. Not much on this side, you just have your push to talk button. On this side, first you have a jack for your external antenna. Now to use that, you'll need one of these. It's like an RCA connector to your coax cable. And it just plugs in like so. And then you would screw your coax cable onto that connector. We have a battery charger input here and AC adapter. I checked out, and the adapter for my realistic radios works in this Midland as well, so that just plugs in here. Also, you can plug it into your 12-volt adapter in your car. Plugs in like that. And here you have an input for an external speaker mic, and that would be this model from Midland. It's the 225. And it looks like that. And it plugs in like so. Now this microphone has no push to talk button. It is a speaker microphone, but how it works is you press the push to talk on the radio, and that will activate the microphone here, and of course it's a microphone speaker. Now let's take a look at the back of the radio. I'm going to unscrew it with a quarter. Now looking at the battery case first, it holds 8 alkaline batteries or 10 rechargeable batteries. Here's the battery case I have. It has sort of a 9-volt connector right here. Now I have a little spacer here for the case so it doesn't flop around in there. I don't have a 10 battery case that fits this radio. I have this 10 battery case, but it doesn't make it inside, doesn't fit inside. So here you have the crystals for transmit and receive, here and here. There's your push to talk, and here's where all the adapters are plugged into. Now the antenna, of course, is telescopic. It's about 52 inches, a little bit more than 52 inches long. And let's look at the radio dimensions. It's about 8.5 inches tall, 3.25 inches wide, and about 2 inches deep. And there you have it, the Midland 13763. Now let's go ahead and check the power on the radio. Now earlier in the video I said that I wasn't able to fit the 10 battery holder which held the rechargeables into the radio, but actually I was able to do that. So now we have 10 rechargeables loaded into the radio, and we're going to go ahead and check the power. First I'm going to try it on low. Looks like I'm getting 1 watt of power. High power, just a hair over 4 watts. So actually the power is doing really well with the rechargeable batteries in it. And again, this is radio number 1. So let's go on to radio number 2 and check it out. So now we're on radio number 2, and let's see what we get for power. Again, we have 10 rechargeable batteries loaded into the radio. So first on low power, and we get about 1 watt, maybe just a little under 1. Let's try high power. Right on 4 watts. Before I go out on the road and do a 1.2 mile transmission check on the radios, I'm going to go ahead and do a short range check to make sure they transmit okay. I'll be checking from my backyard, so this will be about 100 feet away through the walls of the house. Radio check, radio check. This is radio number 1, Midland 13763. Radio check. Audio, audio, audio.
Radio check, radio check. Radio number 1, Midland 13763. Radio check. Audio, audio, audio.
Radio check, radio check. This is radio number 1, Midland 13763, from close range. Audio, audio, radio check.
Radio check, radio check. This is radio number 1, Midland 13763, from close range. Audio, audio, radio check.
Radio check, radio check. This is radio number 2 of the Midland 13763. Audio, 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 radio check. Radio check, radio check. This is radio number 2 of the Midland 13763. Audio, 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 radio check. Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763, radio number 2, from close range. Radio check. Audio, audio. Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763, radio number 2, from close range. Radio check. Audio, audio. Now, there's no doubt about it that radio number 2 had some transmit problems. It may be a capacitor, I'm not sure. But the signal was very strong, but the audio was very, very low. And I need to get somebody to probably check that out for me and maybe get it fixed and serviced. Now, the good news is radio number 1 performed very, very well and had very good audio, strong signal. So I'm really looking forward to taking that one out and testing it. I'll be testing it at about 1.2 miles away, and we'll go ahead and begin that in the next segment of the video. Not having 2 radios to check, of course, I'll have a little bit of extra time, and I might go ahead and try some extra antennas I have, like a rubber duck and another clip-on antenna, and see how they do out in the field. Now, these are the auxiliary antennas that I plan on checking when I go out in the field and test the Midland 13763. First, we have the Radio Shack flexible CB Walkie Talkie antenna. You can see it here, and it just attaches onto the radio, and then you screw it tight. Then I have 2 of these older auxiliary antennas. I don't know who makes them, it's not on the package, but basically works the same way. You just screw it onto here. And it works like so. So we'll go ahead and see how those transmit when we go out. This will be the base radio that I'm transmitting to. It's a Uniden PC122XL paired up with an static D104 M6B microphone. And this is my base station antenna, Francis Amazer. This is one of my mobile antennas. It's a realistic from the 1990s. It used to actually be a gutter mount, and it works great. Okay, slight change of plans. I'm going to be using a different car, and this will be the mobile antenna I'm using today, the Wilson 1000. Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away using the telescopic antenna and the internal mic. Audio, audio, audio. Did that come through okay?
Yeah, it came through really well. Do I stop recording?
No, hold on. I'm going to do a different antenna.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away using the telescopic antenna and the internal mic. Audio, audio, audio. Did that come through okay?
Yeah, it came through really well. Do I stop recording?
No, hold on. I'm going to do a different antenna.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away using the internal mic and a Radio Shack rubber duck antenna. Audio, audio, radio check.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away using the internal mic and a Radio Shack rubber duck antenna. Audio, audio, radio check.
Yeah, it's recording.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away using an external mic and the Russell Industries detachable antenna. Audio, audio, radio check.
Yeah, it's recording.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away using an external mic and the Russell Industries detachable antenna. Audio, audio, radio check.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 using the mobile antenna Wilson 1000. Radio check, 1.2 miles away. Audio, audio, radio check. How'd that sound, Eric?
Sound great.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 using the mobile antenna Wilson 1000. Radio check, 1.2 miles away. Audio, audio, radio check. How'd that sound, Eric?
Sound great.
So now I'm going to test the radio from close range from 1/4 of a mile, a little bit more than 1/4 of a mile. And this is how you typically may use a radio like this. Perhaps you're at a sporting event, at a Boy Scout event, or maybe working in a warehouse, and you just need some good short range communication. So we're going to test that out with a couple of antennas and see how that works out for us. Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 in a dense housing area from 1/4 mile away. Audio, audio, radio check.
In a dense housing area from 1/4 mile away. Audio, audio, radio check.
Yeah, recording now.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1/4 mile away in a dense housing area using the stock antenna. Audio, audio, radio check.
Yeah, recording now.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1/4 mile away in a dense housing area using the stock antenna. Audio, audio, radio check. How'd that come through?
Pretty well.
Yes.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1/4 mile away in a dense housing area. Audio, audio, radio check. That come through?
Came through really good.
Yes.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1/4 mile away in a dense housing area. Audio, audio, radio check. That come through?
Yeah, it came through really good.
Are you ready?
You can start.
Radio check, radio check. This is the President Randy 2 FCC using a rubber duck antenna from 1/4 mile away in a dense housing area. Audio, audio, radio check. Did that come through?
Are you ready?
Yeah, you can start.
Radio check, radio check. This is the President Randy 2 FCC using a rubber duck antenna from 1/4 mile away in a dense housing area. Audio, audio, radio check. Did that come through?
Since we definitely had a lot of skip and bleed over today on the range test, I'm going to see if I can splice together some pieces that had limited skip and limited interference from bleed over, just to get a better picture of the reception that we were getting. Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763.
Audio, audio, radio check.
Audio, audio, radio check.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763 from 1.2 miles away.
Radio check, radio check. Radio check.
Radio check, radio check. Radio check.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763.
763 in a dense housing area from 1/4 mile away.
763 in a dense housing area from 1/4 mile away.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763.
Radio check, radio check. This is the Midland 13763.
Radio check, radio check. This is the President Randy 2 FCC.
Radio check, radio check. This is the President Randy 2 FCC.
So this is a really nice radio. I don't want to seem apologetic, but I can't stress enough that these were not optimal conditions. My base is at a one-story house surrounded by two-story houses that are higher than my antenna. Also, the transmission had to travel through about a half-mile of residential houses and many trees. Finally, you could hear all the traffic on the channel and bleed over. So that being said, I think the 13763 did pretty good, especially with the stock telescopic antenna. Now, this radio was not purposed to transmit long distances like a base station or mobile CB. It's portable CB designed for close-range communications. You could see that the Midland mated with the Wilson 1000 at 1.2 miles was excellent, and I'm confident that in this configuration, it could transmit about 5 miles out on the highway. If I mated it with my base Francis Amazer antenna, it would probably do as well or better. With the Russell antenna, I would feel confident using it at about a half mile or less, perhaps in a warehouse or small sports field or campus. With the Radio Shack flexible antenna, I think 1 mile or less would be workable, perhaps at a large outdoor event or camping area. With the stock telescopic antenna, I'd feel confident using it up to 2 miles in reasonable conditions. It may transmit 3 to 4 miles under optimal conditions, for example, no major obstacles in a quiet channel. As I said in my last video with the realistic radios, this is a home movie made for fun and to share with a few of you out there that love these nice radios like I do. I really like reading and responding to your comments. Let me know if there are any other walkie-talkies from the opening that you would like to see reviewed. So that about wraps it up.